Most productivity advice is garbage, not because it's wrong, but because it's safe. It's designed for people who want to feel productive. And feeling productive and being dangerously productive? Those are two completely different things. I'm talking about the kind of output that makes people around you uncomfortable. The kind of focus that feels almost unfair. The kind of momentum where you look up at the clock and 6 hours have passed and you've done what most people can't do in a week. That's what we're building today. No journaling prompts. No morning routine fluff. Just the raw, honest framework that separates the people who dominate their goals from the people who just talk about them. Let's get into it. Section 1. The Productivity Trap. Before we talk about being dangerously productive, we need to kill something first. The biggest lie in self-improvement is that being busy is the same as being productive. We've built entire identities around busyness. Full calendars. Packed to-do lists. Constant notifications, and at the end of the day, we collapse into our chairs thinking, man, I worked hard today. But you look at what actually got done, what actually moved the needle, and it's almost nothing. This is called pseudo-productivity. It's the illusion of progress. And it is absolutely lethal to your goals. Here's the brutal truth. Most people fill their day with low-stakes, easy tasks because those tasks give them a dopamine hit without requiring them to do anything scary. Responding to emails. Easy. Reorganizing files. Easy. Attending meetings that could have been text. Comfortable. The tasks that actually change your life, the hard creative work, the high-leverage decisions, the deep-focused problem-solving, those get pushed to tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow. So rule number 1 of being dangerously productive is this: stop optimizing your schedule. Start protecting your time. Section 2. The Single Objective Principle. Here's a question I want you to sit with for a second. If you could only accomplish one thing this week, one thing that would make everything else easier or irrelevant, what would it be? Most people can't answer that. Not because they don't have goals, but because they have too many goals fighting for the same mental bandwidth. And when everything is a priority, nothing is. Dangerously productive people operate with what I call the single objective principle. Every week, every day, there is one primary mission, not a list of 10. 1. And here's the magic of this: when you commit to one thing at that level, your brain starts working for you instead of against you. You stop wasting decision-making energy on what to work on next. You stop second-guessing yourself mid-task. You build something called cognitive momentum, and once that thing kicks in, it's almost effortless. Think about the most productive period of your life. I'd bet money that during that time, you had clarity. You knew exactly what you were working toward. The mission was obvious. So how do you find your one thing? Ask yourself, what is the highest leverage action I can take that produces the most impact? Not what feels urgent. Not what someone else put on your plate. What you know, in your gut, is the thing that actually matters. Write it down. Put it somewhere you'll see it. And protect it like your life depends on it. Section 3, Building Your Danger Zone. Alright. You've got your one thing. Now we need to build the environment for you to actually do it. Your environment is not neutral. Your environment is either pushing you toward your goal or pulling you away from it. And most people's environments are absolutely stacked against them. Phone notifications. Open tabs. People interrupting. Background noise. All of it is stealing your most valuable resource, your focused attention. Here's what I call the danger zone, a protected block of time. Minimum 90 minutes, where your full cognitive firepower is aimed at one single task. No phone. And I mean no phone, not face down, not on silent, not in the other room where you can still walk to it. I mean completely out of reach or locked away. Research consistently shows that the mere presence of a smartphone on your desk reduces your cognitive capacity, even if it's off. Close every browser tab not directly related to your work. Turn off notifications. If you work around other people, put on headphones as a signal that you are unavailable. And here's the secret weapon: start before you're ready. The most dangerous thing about procrastination isn't wasted time. It's the story you tell yourself about needing conditions to be perfect before you begin. You don't need to be in the mood. You don't need to feel inspired. You need to start, because motivation doesn't create action, action creates motivation. Just open the document. Just write the first sentence. Just make the first call. The momentum will follow. Section 4, the energy equation. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough in productivity content. It's not about time management. It's about energy management. You can have 16 hours in a day, and if your energy is garbage, your output will be garbage. Conversely, give me 4 high in energy, fully focused hours and I will outperform someone grinding away for 12. So what actually controls your energy? Sleep is the foundation. Non-negotiable. Cutting sleep to gain more working hours is like borrowing money at a 300% interest rate. You'll pay for it, and you'll pay for it hard. 7 to 9 hours isn't a luxury. It's the baseline. Next, your first 2 hours are gold. The research on cognitive performance is clear. Most people do their sharpest thinking in the first 90 to 120 minutes after waking up. Your prefrontal cortex is fresh. Your willpower reserves are full. This is not the time to check social media or respond to messages. This is when you attack your one thing. Movement matters too. Even a 20-minute walk produces measurable improvements in focus and creative thinking. If you're stuck, you're probably sitting. Get up. And finally, protect your mental energy by making fewer decisions. Decision fatigue is real. The more choices you make throughout the day, the worse your judgment gets. So automate and simplify wherever you can. Eat similar meals, create default routines. Pre-decide what you'll work on so you're not negotiating with yourself every morning. Section 5, the review ritual. The last piece of the framework is what separates people who are temporarily productive from people who are consistently, dangerously productive. It's the review ritual. Every week, and I mean every single week, you need to sit down for 20 minutes and audit your output. Not your effort. Your output. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What did I actually accomplish this week that moved the needle? 2. What was I doing that felt productive but wasn't? 3. What is my single objective for next week? This is how you compound your gains. This is how you spot the leaks in your productivity system before they become habits. This is how you stay honest with yourself when it's tempting to just feel busy and call it progress. The people who build extraordinary things don't just work hard. They work with intention. They audit. They adjust. They eliminate what isn't working without ego. So let's bring it all together. Being dangerously productive isn't about hustling harder or sleeping less or cramming more tasks into a day. It's about getting ruthlessly clear on what actually matters, building an environment that forces deep focus, protecting your energy like it's sacred, and reviewing your results with brutal honesty. Most people will never do this. Not because they can't, but because it requires them to stop feeling productive and start being productive. And that's a much harder thing to face. But you're watching this video, which tells me you're not most people. So this week, I want you to do one thing. Find your single objective. Write it down. And give it everything you've got for just 90 minutes tomorrow morning. That's it. That's where it starts. If this helped you, drop a comment with your single objective for this week. I read every single one. Don't forget to subscribe. I put out videos every week on performance, focus, and building a life you're actually proud of. I'll see you in the next one.